A royal commentator has claimed that Meghan Markle is making an attempt to take a bigger hand in her very own public image due to the fact she is a very clear, imaginative and prescient of how she needs to be perceived by the public. A royal commentator has claimed Meghan Markle is taking manage of her personal public image because she thinks she can do a higher job. This declare comes in accordance to Kinsey Schofield of the Teddy4 podcast, who thinks that Meghan has been sad with how she has come across to the public. She said that the Duchess of Sussex is keen to take manipulate of her very own manufacturer as she navigates the long-running, extraordinarily polarizing debate around her. She said that Meghan is well documented to have been frustrated by means of how she has come throughout in the media in the past and is keen to provide her own impression. She said each Tomba and Valentine Lowe's books explore how unhappy Meghan has been with past PR efforts and how she thinking she may want to do it better herself. She added anyone worn out of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle mentally put together for a barrage of fluffy press hits and glamorous pics with Harry, aka Palm Tree No. 2. In the background, Meghan has a very clear vision of how she wishes to be perceived through the public. For the most part, I think the toothpaste is out of the tube and humans have already hooked up a positive or negative opinion of her. Meghan is a polarizing determine and there is no in-between. That is currently what we are witnessing. A more handsome strategy from Meghan when it comes to her brand. The copy and paste tweets from Hearst Media Corp is a best instance. Dozens of tweets with the actual same verbiage and video from outlets owned with the aid of Hearst like 17 magazine and Cosmopolitan. Meghan Markle is an activist and altruist. She's recognized to be passionate about making the world a better place. Here are just a few motives the Duchess of Sussex is recognized to advocate. Funny how this sounds like the genuine narrative Meghan used to be pursuing with her Vanity Fair cover story. The news comes after Meghan took up a central function in the days following the Queen's death, notwithstanding it being simply shortly after to her controversial interview in the Cut magazine that saw her make a collection of explosive claims about her life in America in evaluation to that of being a senior royal. It used to be inevitable that Harry and Meghan would cease up at odds with Netflix. The Sussexes did a deal with the Hollywood Satan to expose all. Now the streaming large is annoying its pound of flesh. It's a modern, tragic comedy that the Duke and Duchess of woke notion they ought to demand a deal worth, at minimum, tens of hundreds of thousands of greenbacks from a Hollywood streaming large barring having to supply the goods. Perhaps at the second they signed, when Netflix earnings and subscriptions were continuing to skyrocket thanks to lockdowns forcing folk indoors round the world, it was a slim possibility. Maybe they notion its boss, Ted Sarandos, would be comfortable with the promise of Harry's tweet documentary about the Invictus Games and Meghan's Uber work and now cancelled animated TV sequence about a 12-year historical woman who met the sorts of feminist icons with whom she swapped tales of victimhood in her Dire podcast. But now, with the organization beneath growing economic strain to deliver onward content that will pressure new sign-ups, industrial actuality bites, Netflix is disturbing its pound of flesh, and the Sussexes are sincerely floundering.